The K70 RGB RapidFire keyboard sports mostly the same stuff as its original K70 RGB counterpart. You have your spanktastic LEDs, the dedicated media controls, which feature a comfortably stiff volume wheel, 4-step brightness control, a Windows lock key, a brushed aluminum finish with very sturdy construction, no recessed area under the keycaps which allows for easy cleaning, clear switch housings to allow light to easily pass through, and a polling rate switch in the back for 8 milliseconds, 4 milliseconds, 2 milliseconds, 1 millisecond, and BIOS mode. The subtle Corsair sales logo branding is at the top, not that awful tramp stamp nonsense Corsair had going on during its angsty teen phase. 4 feet for extra elevation if you're so inclined. A braided cable with 2 USB plugs at the end, and a still terrible wrist rest. In the box you get the keyboard, the wrist rest, some warranty papers, textured rubber keycaps for MOBA and FPS games, and a keycap puller. So aside from that super edgy gamer RapidFire branding that they're going with, what exactly is new with my boo? And I'll give you a hint, it's nothing in Q. But there is a USB pass-through, easy access from behind, for your pleasure and mine. But is it worth all the dimes? What are the other bells and chimes? The actuation distance is decreased by 40%, a good way to tell your opponents to go get bent. From 2 full millimeters to 1.2, I'm sure to disappoint Dr. Seuss. Armed with Cherry's brand new MX Speed switches, you're sure to bring in all the... You still have the 45-gram actuation force, but all that clacking will sound like Morse code. Okay, I'm all done with the rhymes. Basically, the K70 RapidFire edition is more or less the same as the original, except now it's got a USB pass-through in the back, and the actuation distance was reduced from 2 millimeters to 1.2. So on paper, you'll be about 40% faster in your stroking. I'm pretty sure this keyboard is targeted towards the super competitive players that pretty much have to go first all the time forever. The switches are pretty similar to Cherry Red's. They're linear, smooth, light, and sound just about the same. So here's a sound test just in case you're curious. The sound is observed through a Blue Yeti on a boom arm with a shock mount. After installing some O-rings on here because the noise drives my girlfriend crazy, this is the resulting clicky-clacky. Will this affect that 1.2 millimeter actuation distance that Corsair is so proud of? Let's find out. Now, I don't have any fancy equipment to test Corsair's 40% faster claim, but I can damn well try. If you want to compare sound tests to the Corsair Strafe with Cherry MX Red switches, you can watch that video linked in the description or click on screen here. If you want a dedicated video on how to use Q, or Corsair's utility engine, that can be found in the description as well, or also on screen now. Time for a conclusion. What do I like about it? It's honestly pretty much everything. Keys are smooth and light, lighting looks good, but not quite as good as the Strafe due to the Strafe's white base to promote bouncing light around, but the build construction is sturdy enough to make even little Steven jelly. And the functionality combined with the Q software is top-notch. So now what don't I like about this thing? Well, while it's not really a big problem, or even a problem at all, I missed the sales logo that you can find on the Strafe on the top left corner of the keyboard that lights up in all the RGB colors and stuff. Another thing I can't really be too critical about is the brushed aluminum. While it does look super fantastic, it's a bit harder to clean out the dust, and it does sort of attract fingerprints. Unless Corsair decides to accommodate my fat hands, I'm always going to hate that wrist rest. While it's definitely better than the Strafes in the sense that it is smoother and softer feeling, it's still short and inadequate. While the lighting is also good, I've noticed that sometimes you can see red and green peeking through the clear housing when you're using white in your lighting profile. Not really something that sticks out too much, but it is something I've noticed. The last thing I want to talk about is the pricing. At the time of recording this video, you can find it on Amazon for about $170 US. Links will be in the description for your convenience. With that being said, you may be wondering, well, Steven, if you didn't want to pay that much money for this thing, then why the hell did you? You're not quite important enough for receiving items at a free or even a discounted price for a fair and honest review, so what's going on here? And you're right, the only reason I have this keyboard is because my friend has yet to check his mail. So basically, build quality, A, functionality, A, aesthetics, A, comfort, that wrist rest, and longevity, to be continued. So that's all I have to say about that. If you think I did a good job, go ahead and toss me a like on this video, because that'd be swell. If not, go ahead and toss me a dislike, because that would be cool too. If this video didn't answer your questions or you were expecting something else, go ahead and drop me a note in the comment section and I will address your inquiry as soon as I am able. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.